we've also got there's a product that we developed called lightweight shock group that we've run for a long time. One thing the racers ought to know is that the transmission companies have gotten pretty greedy when it comes to trying to cut the motor oil or the lubricant companies out of their business. So a lot of times when you see a transmission company specify, use this particular oil in this particular, they use their brand of oil. Well, most of those guys are not sourcing very good product, and you're actually going backward. So the Red Lines and the Motuls and some of the higher quality gear oil products are going to do a better job in a Bird or a Bryn. But you got to follow the viscosity. A lot of them have different viscosity recommendations. Some of them can even run on a 75/90 with friction modifier. But remember, you'll see them specify in viscosity and the type of gear oil, GL4 or GL5 or 75/90, 75/140. If you see something as low as an 80 weight, a 75 W80, that's where you can start going to automatic transmission fluids, which I think everyone knows gets into crevices. Imagine if the clearances were tight, then an ATF is going to get into those clearances far better than a gear oil will. But remember that with these GL4 gear oils, you get a little bit of extra gear protection. So it kind of depends on the particular application. You really do have to read up on what that manufacturer requested for a viscosity.
So with running the ATF or the automatic transmission fluid in those racing transmissions with the wet clutch system they have, that's going to provide the extra protection in those clutches, correct?
Well, yeah, because ATF is built, you got clutches in your automatic transmission. So it's actually designed for those clutches. That's the point. That there's a few, that the reason that we did so many different gear oils and automatic transmission fluids as I built out a lot of the different part numbers within the Redline product, Breathen, is that you can either run them slippery or not slippery, like a Dexron 3 or a Dexron 6 fluid that's a lot thinner. Those are going to have an additive package from a traditional automatic transmission application. They're going to make them a little more slippery. A lot of times the clutches don't want that. But when you run something like the Redline lightweight racing ATF or like the racing ATF, that's just more like a Type F, those are specifically not slippery. So if you want those clutches to lock up more quickly, then you can run something less slippery, like the racing versions. If you don't mind a little bit of slipperiness, and you want to take care of wear a little better, you could run Dexron 3 like the Redline D4 ATF.
Gotcha. Now this brings up another question, because I've heard this rumor or this myth in this area about B&M trick shift specifically being the product to run in transmissions, and it's protecting it better and things like that. Do you have any experience with that product?
Yeah, there's really not much to that. What that is a lot like a Redline racing ATF, where you have basically a not very slippery oil with a lot of viscosity. ATFs are changing quite a bit, because what we're finding, like imagine if you had an automatic transmission or if you've got a converter in any of these applications, the way automatic transmissions is right in your pickup truck that you drive today, basically the converters are a heck of a lot tighter, because the fluid is so much more stable than it used to be. Where when you see something like a B&M trick shift, that is a very viscous material that builds a lot of heat and is going to shear down faster because of the heat. So you wouldn't want to target that particular fluid, because it's really more viscous than what the needs are of most racing applications.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's a good one to know right there. A lot of guys will learn
and
from
one more thing too is that for the listeners, if you want to see how viscous is the one I get that technical data sheet. Look at what its viscosity is at 40C and 100C. It says it in centistokes, which into that measurement of resistance to flow, that you can go, that's all printed. So 100C, 212 degrees is the only, measurement you're really going to get that's really like what you'd see in a race car. And you can look at the difference between one ATF versus another by looking at those charts. The problem we have in the racing business, like you talked about it just as well, a lot of this innuendo or myths, none of these jackasses ever looked at one of these sheets and actually saw that the number's right there. It doesn't need to be a myth. They can tell for themselves. It drives me crazy. So we took a survey once at the PRI show, right? That's the racing trade show, of 100 people. And they could all tell us everything we needed to know about motor oil or gear oil. They couldn't even tell us the temperature. Like, so what's your oil temp? Oh, I don't really have one of those gauges. And you're like, well, then what the hell are you telling me all this stuff for?
That's
so even just getting one of those temperature strips on the side of your diff and side of your trans, even if you've got a little real simple dirt car that doesn't have a lot of this, kind of telemetry that's becoming a little bit more common. Remember, you can tell for yourself. You can even hit it with a heat gun when it comes in and get an idea of what temperature that thing's running at. And then you can look up on these technical data sheets, cross it over, and get an idea by the wear in the parts, whether the transmission fluid or the gear oil is too thick or too thin.
So on these technical data sheets, let's talk about where the best place for our listeners and our racers to get that information. Do they go straight to the manufacturer's website?
Yeah, most of the manufacturers' websites have that. I know before I left Redline in October, I built a hell of a website, and it's got all of that technical data basically on specific landing pages for each of these famous products. So it's really been a go-to. Even for people that choose other brands, they still use the Redline website as the Bible for real information that's posted up there. So, but most of the manufacturers will print that stuff, but make sure you look at the details. Take the comparison as to how many statistics one oil company is willing to show you over another, and that will often tell you what someone's hiding and what someone's willing to reveal.
Awesome. We got a listener, Don Croy, says, this is awesome info. So much appreciated. I can't disagree. Cam, a wealth of knowledge on this subject. We could talk to you for the whole show, which is about another hour and a half. I'm sure you don't have that kind of time, but we do appreciate your time tonight and taking time to call in from Texas. Don't be afraid to pick up that phone and call into the show anytime. We've learned a lot here tonight.
I learned. I
appreciate it. It's fun to talk about, and we appreciate everybody supporting all the chemical brands like Cyclo and Pyroil and that we've got out there. And hey, we'll see you guys at the races. I'll leave you guys on this. I just got an opportunity to actually test in a dirt late model locally here outside of Dallas in the next couple of weeks. So I haven't been in a long time. So I've been driving road race cars, BMWs, and things like the Nürburgring and all that. So I'm super excited to get back in a dirt car and scare myself a little bit.
I love it. Awesome. I hope that goes well for you. And for the record, the only oil I use in my cart is Redline. That's just it.
Oh, good. I love that.
Yeah.
You probably bought me a BMW someday.
I may have. Right on. Cameron, again, thanks, man. We appreciate your time. Want to wish you the best of luck in the car, and keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you.
Good night, guys, and thanks to the listeners. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll all talk soon.
Very cool. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Cam.
Wow. You want to talk about a wealth of knowledge.
That is one of those things that so many myths are out there. So many things are talked about in this community, in our industry.
And that's really the off-air conversation prior to having this was exactly that. We hear everybody talking about, oh, this works better, that works better, use this, use that. That right there, I think, will change some opinions on a lot of people.
And that's, some of the technician training that Dom and I have been to over the years in the auto industry. I mean, he wasn't saying anything that was foreign to us, but when you start talking to someone who hasn't been on that side of things, that's where conveying that knowledge is so helpful. I mean,
well, and for, seriously, listening to him talk, I was just kind of going, whoa, wait a second. There's a lot there I didn't know. And I'm not going to pretend that I did coming in, but just what he said, there was just, wow, I didn't even think about that. When you're not working on the cars, and it's been a long time, like I said a few weeks ago, that I haven't worked on the cars, and this racing game we play changes so fast. You listen to him talk about the oil industry, how fast it's been changing, and you talk about the ATFs and what they're doing with that. How do you keep up with it as it changes so fast? I know you find a product you like, and you keep using it and using it and using it. Well, guess what? Someone else is going to do the little bit of research. They're going to find something a little better, and they're going to gain that advantage.
Well, look what he's saying even about the camshafts on a straightaway. It's
Unbelievable.
Like
a car
hydraulic,
length.
yeah.
And that wasn't even something I thought about, was the anti-foam components with the hydraulic lifters in the cams and not seeing the cam profile, but it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely it does.
I mean, I think back to a couple years ago when the 604 started coming out, and you have one 604 that was, was getting motoring down the front stretch and getting to the flag stand at Willamette Speedway and being out of beans, and you got another 604 that's going into the corner. It could all be down to what oil you're running and the anti-foam properties in the oil.
Well, think about what he said. A car length at the end of the straightaway. There's 2 straightaways. You run a 50-lap race. Think about how much you gain during that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's incredible.
You know what? I think we need a break.
We need a break.
I think we're on overload right now.
We're up on the 8 o'clock hour, and man, what an awesome segment right there. Probably one of my favorite segments we've ever done here on Northwest Dirt News, just because of the knowledge that you're able to gain through something like that. One of our listeners, Mr. Larry Baker, says, I will be re-listening to this broadcast and taking serious notes. Wow. I can't blame him. I hope everybody does, especially that segment. There was a lot we learned in less than a half hour.
Well, it sounds like everybody needs to go out and buy a heat gun is what it sounds like.
If that's the simplest way to do it, why not? It's worth the investment.
It's a $30 investment. You don't just have to use it on your differentials, on your automatic or on your transmissions, on your oil pans, your oil coolers, all that stuff. How often do we use heat guns on tires?
Right.
You can learn a lot from a heat gun.
Absolutely can.
Temperature is everything.
All right, we're going to go into our second break for about 4 minutes. We'll be right back here in the AAMCO Transmissions Total Car Care Studio on Northwest Dirt News on Spreaker Radio. Stick around. We'll be right back. The Wild West welcomes the most technologically advanced dirt track racing chassis being introduced by none other than the West Premier Dirt Track Speed Shop, Bar S Motorsports.
The Longhorn chassis has been produced since 2010 and was created by 2 former NASCAR champions, the Labonte brothers.
Bar S knows what performance means. FK bearings, rod ends, Weir's machine, hypercoil springs, Penske shocks, and real racing wheels are all part of the Power Pack products guaranteed to be on the shelf.
Dirt track champions need the best equipment with brands like Velocita fire suits, Safecraft, Hooker harnesses, the joy of seating, and cold fire extinguishers. Why trust your safety to anyone else?
When it comes to making your car look fast when it's standing still, Bar S Motorsports has you covered. With SRI, Dirt Defender, Risco, 5-Star Bodies, Slick Products, and Joe Gibbs Racing Products.
Looking to join the likes of Kyle Strickler, Tim McCready, and Jonathan Davenport? Bar S Motorsports is proud to be the West's authorized dealer for Longhorn chassis.
No matter what you drive on the track, Bar S Motorsports can help your success and assist in making you bad fast.
I'm Michael Short, founder of Bar S Motorsports. Come visit us at our new showroom at 1017 East 1st Avenue in Albany, Oregon. Join the team and give us a call today, 541-497-2381, or find us online at barsmotorsports.com.
Be the bull. Horns up.
James Gang Pizza, home of the 26-inch Holy Cow Pizza.
Holy cow!
Holy cow!
James Gang Pizza is a family-owned and operated restaurant since 2010.
James Gang Pizza features large banquet rooms for birthday parties and other meetings, a pool table along with several video games and vending machines, happy hour Monday through Friday 4 to 6, and all day on Sundays.
Stop by James Gang Pizza and taste their salad bar, roasted chicken, and James Gang famous pizza.
Stop by James Gang Pizza and check out my personal favorite pizza, the Outlaw.
And don't forget the 26-inch Holy Cow Pizza for your next get-together.
Holy cow!
Holy cow! James Gang Pizza is located in Lebanon, Oregon at 1188 South Main Street. Give them a call for delivery at 541-258-4040.
Archer Floor Coverings has been a family-owned and operated business since 2000. Archer Floor Coverings provides free estimates and specializes in multiple types of floors, such as carpet, vinyl, laminate, and hardwood. They have the entire Willamette Valley covered from Albany to Eugene and over to the Oregon coast. Archer Floor Coverings is serious about their work. They do all installations themselves. No subcontractors are ever used. Come see the beautiful showroom at Archer Floor Covering, 3775 Olympic Street, Springfield. From sales to installs, we can do it all. Archer Floor Covering, where your floor becomes our business. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 541-747-2608. Again, that's 541-747-2608. Whether it's new construction or a remodel project, we floor it.
Does your job, the weather, or your health have you